Welcome to the clashing of steel.
Once again, today I am playing the catapults. It's been quite a while actually, I think. And, well, catapults are always interesting. When you get really pissed off everything else, how your team works and everything, you can always go catapults and do at least something. Or at least that's what I'm hoping to do. And it quite doesn't turn out the way I would like it to be. Catapults can change the outcome of the battle in many very different ways. Killing elephants, focusing on slow and heavy infantry, perhaps even harassing ranged units or horsemen. That all is, of course, if the catapult is allowed to work, is allowed to manage himself. And this right here in the middle came as a surprise for me. Opponents showing aggression, coming straight towards us. And as usual catapult player, it is quite annoying. I need to reposition myself soon. I can't stay here. Slingers will harass me, swordsmen will most likely beat me. And of course the automated catapult fire never works for me. So I will pack up my artillery and will be forced to retreat. I can't seal off the front entrance of the base. The spearmen just aren't wide enough. So the main focus of the catapult is to be far away from everything that could harass you. Especially the ranged units, because as long as you are defended by melee, you can actually stay stationary if there aren't any ranged units coming after you and you are well defended. But my biggest fear are the slingers. They have extreme range and they do so much damage to the light units, which the catapults are. Or more specifically, the catapult's engineers. What I read from this action by the opposing infantry is that I am going in a very horrible direction and I should turn around and pick another way to escape. This way I'm hoping that I can actually defend this location with my spearmen and retreat into the rear location where the catapults can be utilized. But instead I will be running around with my engineers or catapult units, just avoiding everything. What actually makes this even more dangerous or annoying for me is that I need to retreat further away and slingers are getting closer. It doesn't help me that this infantry here isn't acting accordingly. We could just block in our opponents and crush them. But instead, I'm the only one moving this way, and slingers will soon enough realize what they must do. As I would love to build myself up anywhere, I now need to run once again. If that infantry would have just blocked these guys in, we might have easily beaten them, forced their slingers out of any retreat, any possible escape. But instead, I will be in hot water in a matter of seconds. But I'm not gonna give them a chance to get a proper drop on me, so I'm just pulling away. And because everything is running towards me, or at my direction, I am forced to run on once again. It's not that I couldn't or don't want to build myself up in the rear back there somewhere, but I just don't want to take the risk of getting hammered by the slingers. Because there is no proper value in giving your opponents an easy target, and then paying for the replenishment of your troops. So instead I'm playing like a total jackass and running around with my catapult units. And wow, these guys actually realized what was going on and turned away. Good for them. But this fight is also a great example of extreme aggression, which is unnecessary, and they've just spent their troops hoping to make a breakthrough through the location that was actually well defended. Well, maybe not well defended, but defended with a reasonable amount of troops. And now comes pretty much the only place where my catapults are useful. Well, maybe not. Actually, yeah, considering that the elephants are really low, anything would probably kill it. And actually, I'm still a bit careful, a bit afraid, because there's still swordsmen coming this way. And I need to pack my stuff up again and head away from here. With this aggression, they indeed messed up mine and other catapults' positioning. Perhaps mine a bit worse because my focus was to stay near my friendly troops in case of a retreat. But considering they went full on in and got annihilated by most infantry, we still got the victory out of it. That lightning fast offense might have worked if they would have all forced into our base trying to go for the capture, or all forced in one way with all troops. But instead, in the end, they seem to be a bit spread, and that is where we got them. They had many bottlenecks they could have used, many locations they could have utilized, and slingers could have harassed us from many directions. But, well, teamwork is key, and if it is not used properly, it is something that might come back to bite you. My usefulness has pretty much ended. There are horsemen, swordsmen, archers, everything going offensive and doing some damage. I will fire a few shots, but nothing more. There are actually many battles where we are forced to run as catapults. That is, if you want to survive, at least. This was one of them as I see it, because I was really afraid of slingers, although the walls could have probably defended me for quite a bit. Still, it is not great to stay stationary too long, especially if there are many troops that can easily outmaneuver you or counter you. The stakes could only help me that much, and if I would be sealed off from both ends of the bottleneck, there wouldn't be much I could do, or could have done. I do like to play catapults every now and then. They're especially interesting unit when you're pissed at everybody else and you think that there is nothing that you could be surprised with during the battle of how stupidly many players could act. This is something where you can work by yourself if you defend yourself, and you can be a total game changer. That is, as long as you are allowed to position yourself perfectly and support your team members in wide variety of locations, and by focusing high priority targets, that is. Sorry if this video had a bit of lag, my hard drive was getting full. It is never easy to be catapults if you are forced to move from your positions and, well, if you are defenseless, that is. These horsemen could have just picked us up, all the catapults up basically, like 4 minutes ago, 5 minutes ago, something like that. We were all spread too thin, too far away from any proper defense, and it would have been an easy picking for the horsemen. But this is the life of the catapult. Sometimes you're just forced to run, relocate, and avoid any kind of annoyances by mostly keeping your distance. But then again, you also need to be careful, because there is always someone out to get you. As long as they can slip past through some location, there's always someone who wants to get a piece of you. But fortunately, in this match, I was able to deny these opponents a chance to get a piece of me by just disengaging. Although sadly, I didn't do much, but at least I managed to keep my replenishment costs low. So let's head over to the scoreboard. As it was that I was mostly useless, I could still get some score off of my spearmen and perhaps slight support from the artillery. Although most is still earned by the spears. My other friendly catapult didn't earn much score as well, although he did more offense, and I'm guessing that is based on his artillery support. The opposing slingers still managed to get some score. I'm guessing they got some of it, or at least some of the offense of the other catapult. They earned some capture as well, or as much as they could do, while they were still pretty much being forced out of our base. But perhaps the biggest problem is they had no proper teamwork between their Germanicus, which is the opposing team's best player. He did earn the most score, a lot of it by capture, but in most other ways I would have to say he was rather useless. They spread themselves too thin and got hammered because of it. A simple thing they could have done is just made a foothold inside our base, trying to capture as fast as possible. But instead, the unnecessary spread is what brought their demise. The main thing they succeeded with that tactic was forcing away the catapults. And, well, catapult support could not be used, although that didn't make much of a difference, seeing as they still lost and seeing as their archers probably weren't well defended. The main ingredients missing in this match was teamwork. Not from just the opposing side, but from our side as well, seeing how the swordsmen missed an opportunity, seeing how we had to spread and how we dealt with the opponents. There were many minor things we can keep an eye on and then bring out later to see as possible problem points. But at least we managed to manage ourselves, if nothing else. Anyways, don't forget to subscribe and thanks for watching.